Let me tell you about someone who's going to retire before 40 earning a completely normal salary. And no, it's not magic. This person doesn't make $20,000 a month, doesn't sell online courses, doesn't own a company. They make $4,000 a month, work Monday through Friday, and live a completely normal life. The difference is they discovered something 95% of people don't know. Retirement isn't about age. It's about math. Let me ask you a question that's going to bother you. Do you know exactly how much you need invested to never have to work again? Not an, I think around 2 million. How much exactly? And another even worse question. Do you know how much you're saving per month to reach that amount? How many years will it take at your current pace? If you can't answer these two questions with precise numbers, you don't have a retirement plan. You have hope. Today, I'm going to show you the real plan, no nonsense. And by the end, you'll know exactly what to do and how long it will take. There's a mathematical rule that determines when you can retire. You need to have invested 25 times your annual expenses. If you spend $1,000 per month, you need $300,000 invested. If you spend $3,000 per month, you need $900,000. With that amount, you live forever just on the returns, without touching the principal. This is the 4% rule. Your investments earn 8% per year. You withdraw 4% to live on, and the other 4% grows with inflation. Result: your money never runs out. It's math proven by decades of financial studies. Now comes the crucial question. How long does it take to accumulate that amount? The answer: it depends on how much you can save. Most people save between 5% and 15% of their income. At that rate, it takes 40 to 50 years to retire. That's why everyone works until 65. But there's a group that discovered how to accelerate this process. The secret isn't making more money, it's optimizing 3 factors. Factor 1, strategic savings rate. Instead of saving 10% of income, these people save between 40% and 60%. The difference is brutal. Those who save 10% take 50 years. Those who save 50% take 16 years. Factor 2, smart returns. Forget savings accounts that barely keep up with inflation. They invest in the global financial market. But that's risky. You know what's risky? Depending only on your salary until 65. Factor 3, expense optimization. It's not about cutting everything. It's about spending consciously on what matters and eliminating expenses that don't add value. How can someone save 40% or 50% of their income without sacrificing quality of life? The answer: it's not about deprivation, it's about awareness. Most people spend money on autopilot. They buy on impulse, pay for convenience, spend out of habit. Those who retire early do differently. Every dollar spent is a conscious decision. The smart housing principle. Most people spend 30% to 50% of income on housing. Those who retire early optimize this expense without sacrificing comfort. It's not about living poorly. It's about living smart. Choosing strategic location, focusing on essentials instead of status. The conscious food principle. It's not about eating poorly. It's about eating smart. Cooking more at home, discovering that home cooking is tastier and much cheaper. Someone who spends $800 per month on delivery can spend $300 cooking and still eat better. The strategic transportation principle. It's not about lacking mobility. It's about smart mobility. Calculating the real cost of owning a car versus alternatives. Many people spend over $1,000 per month on cars without realizing it. The conscious entertainment principle. It's not about not having fun, it's about smart fun. Discovering that the best experiences cost little or nothing. The mindset that changes everything. Those who retire early ask, does this really make me happier? Before each purchase. They discovered that the freedom of not needing to work is worth more than any temporary luxury. As income increases, standard of living doesn't increase proportionally. The rest goes to accelerate retirement. With this mindset, it's possible to live well on 50% of income and invest the rest. Each dollar not spent today transforms into several dollars in the future. The strategy of those who retire early is simple. Smart global diversification. The global stocks pillar. Most of the money goes to stocks of companies worldwide, not individual stocks. Funds that buy the entire market of various countries. Why? Historically, global companies have always grown with the world economy, even with all the crises in history. The real assets pillar. A portion goes to investments that track inflation, real estate, commodities, assets that maintain real value. The security pillar. A smaller portion stays in conservative investments for stability. The execution strategy. Every month on the same date, the same amount is invested in the same proportion. Doesn't matter if the market went up or down. What if there's a crisis? That's the secret. Crises are opportunities for long-term thinkers. When everything falls, you're buying cheaper. The greatest fortunes were built buying during crises. Those who kept investing in 2008 and 2020 multiplied their wealth. The secret is having emergency reserves separate to never touch long-term investments at the wrong time. The magic of compound interest money doesn't grow linearly. It grows exponentially. At first it seems slow, but then it accelerates. That's why starting early makes such a difference. Each year of advantage means years less working. How to calculate your plan. First, discover your real expenses from the last 3 months. Second, multiply by 25. That's your retirement number. Third, calculate how much you can save per month. Fourth, use a compound interest calculator to discover how many years to reach your goal. The scenarios: 20% savings, 35 years, 30% savings, 25 years, 40% savings, 20 years, 50% savings, 16 years, 60% savings, 12 years. It's not about earning more. It's about saving more and investing better. If it's more than 25 years, increase savings, cut expenses, seek more income. Accept retirement a bit later, still before 65. Errors that keep 95% of people working until 65. Error 1. Not having total clarity of the objective. I want to retire early isn't a plan, it's a wish. You need to know exactly how much money you need and in how many years you'll get it. Without specific numbers, you're navigating without a compass. Error 2. Starting later. I'll start next month, after Christmas, when I earn more. Each lost year literally means 3 to 4 more years working because of compound interest. Time is your greatest ally or greatest enemy. Error 3. Touching the money before time. Treating long-term investment like a checking account. I'll just take a little for that trip. It's just an emergency. Once you break discipline, it becomes very easy to break again. Error 4. Giving up at the first turbulence. When the market drops 20%, panicking and selling everything. Volatility is a natural part of the process, not an anomaly. The biggest losses happen when you sell low. Error 5. Seeking absurd returns. Wanting to earn 30% per year with magic formulas or miraculous investments. Consistency is infinitely more valuable than miracles. 12% per year is already excellent. Error 6. Not automating the process. If you depend on manual discipline every month, life will interfere. Emergencies, trips, forgetfulness. Automation removes emotion and human failure from the equation. Error 7. Comparing with others. So-and-so got there faster. What's his name has more money. Your plan is yours. Your retirement is yours. Comparison only generates frustration and bad decisions. Error 8. Thinking it's too late. I'm 35, I've missed my chance. No matter your age, it's always better to start today than tomorrow. Retiring at 55 is still much better than at 65. Early retirement isn't a privilege of the rich. It's not luck. It's not a miracle. It's math applied with discipline and strategy. You just learned exactly what to do. The question now is, will you do it? You can continue like 95% of people, working, until 65, hoping the government or luck will solve your financial life. Or you can choose to be different for the next 15 to 20 years to have decades of total freedom after. And remember something fundamental. Starting at 20 instead of 30 can mean retiring 10 years earlier. Time is your greatest ally when you're young. Your immediate challenge for this week. Sit down and do the math. Discover your real expenses from the last 3 months. Calculate your magic number by multiplying by 25. Find out how much you can realistically save per month. Use an online compound interest calculator and discover in how many years you'll achieve your financial freedom. If it's more than 25 years, don't get discouraged. Start anyway. The important thing is to break inertia and start building your future today. Because here's the truth nobody talks about. Time will pass anyway. The question is, in 15 years, will you be financially free or still depending on a salary to survive? In 20 years, will you look back and be grateful you started today? Or will you regret having wasted more time? The choice is yours. You already have the knowledge. The math works. Now you just need to apply it. You don't need to be perfect. You need to start. If this video changed your perspective on retirement, hit like, subscribe to the channel and share with someone who urgently needs to hear this. In the comments, tell us, what will your plan be? In how many years will you achieve your complete financial freedom? Until the next video. And remember, your retirement doesn't depend on luck, the economy, or the government. It depends exclusively on your decisions today.